Up next, it was the Viking Raiders with their badass entrance. Bahala was there. She had no shoes on. Apparently, shoes for her were not in the WrestleMania budget. She was still barefoot, but they... Hi there, my little demons and divas and demonites. Bienvenidos. Welcome back to my channel. ¿Qué es la que hay, mi gente? Estamos activados, estamos encendidos. It is I, Isa, aka the Demon Diva. And I am here with episode 2. We're committed, baby. We are committed. Episode 2 of the WrestleMania 39 Rewind. Episode 1 is up, but before I get into all of that, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all of your updates on every time we upload a video or go live. You guys know I do live streams for AEW Dynamite, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views. We're always here watching together. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Now, WrestleMania Rewind. We are watching WrestleMania 39 back match by match and talking about that match, the participants in it, what were they up to then, where are they up to now? And will we see them in the WrestleMania 40 card or not? I don't know. But I gotta say, guys, the second match, I didn't even remember it. And I was pleasantly surprised. I watched this. We're talking about the Fatal 4-Way match. Again, episode 1. Austin Theory versus John Cena. I am watching them in order. It's already up in English and Spanish. Go check them out. If you speak both languages, watch it in both languages. Why not? But so I didn't. I feel this match should have opened the show. I was so pleasantly surprised. By the time I got done watching this, I was like, I love this match, and I am talking about the Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. The participants in this match were the Street Profits, Viking Raiders, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and Alpha Academy. And yeah, let's get into it because, guys, I notes for days. This was fun. I had so much fun rewatching this match. He had no business being as good as it was. First thing first, SoFi Stadium is just absolutely gorgeous. They're showing some views of SoFi from the outside, and out of the events that I have been to in recent years, I think SoFi is my favorite stadium that I've been to by far. It's a piece of beauty. Okay, they have Titus O'Neil come out for commentary, and I just want to add that Titus O'Neil's a saint. Titus O'Neil's a saint. Like, all of the charity work that he does, all the community work that he does for WWE, is just a match. And I'm just a big fan of all the work that he does for them. And he was so funny on commentary here. I almost want him to do commentary more often. All right, so let's get into it. The participants of this match first. People making their way to the ring is Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the drama, but I remember there was some kind of tweet, and then Braun Strowman talked shit about the flippity floppers, and then Ricochet responded to that, and somehow I feel like out of pettiness, they ended up pairing them together. They ended up making a pretty good pair for the time that they were given. However, their entrance here was all Braun, no Ricochet. Music was Braun, graphics were Braun, and Ricochet just came out flipping down the ramp with Braun, but there was no mention of Ricochet here. Hey, justice for my boy Ricochet. Up next, it was the Viking Raiders with their badass entrance. Bahala was there. She had no shoes on. Apparently, shoes for her were not in the WrestleMania budget. She was still barefoot, but they look badass, man. I love the Viking Raiders in this match, and I'm not a big Viking Raiders person. You guys know that. Up next was Alpha Academy. Of course, Otis and Chad Gable made their way to the ring. And last but not least, the Street Profits. Crowd loves the Street Profits. How can you not love the Street Profits? They're just awesome. First thing I noticed is that Titus O'Neil is just throwing shade at Otis sweating. Otis sweating, and he hasn't even done anything. And he just cracked me up because I was like, why is Otis catching strays here? Of course, we get everyone. The match is fun. It's a fun match. But of course, we get the spot in which everybody teams up to just gang up against Braun Strowman because he's the bigger guy there. That you can never miss that spot if you have a big, gigantic guy in a match. I apologize. I put my phone on silent real quick. Chad Gable suplexing Braun. I just put that in my notes and then put 5 stars next to it because what a spot. It's always impressive. You know he's going to get it. But the crowd went crazy for it. And the physical size difference between the two of them just makes it look that much more impressive. And speaking of being impressive, Ivar, he missed the moonsault, but him just doing the moonsault, that it's just absolutely insane. Every time he does it, it's just special. He goes to climb to the second rope. He's facing the ring, and then Valhalla tells him, no, turn around. He should, let me see that back. So then he climbs to the top spot and does the moonsault. Unfortunately, there's nobody there. There's a couple of spots there where they're just hitting spots onto nobody that doesn't have a lot of psychology behind them, but the spots were still cool looking. And of course, Braun, after this, gets on the top rope and does a high flying spot. And I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit. Looks like Braun learned something from his time with Ricochet. This was fun. This match was just, he literally said, this match is fucking lit. Angelo Dawkins gets the pin on Ricochet, which was a nice surprise. Ricochet, I put Street Profits win. Nice. What a match. Ricochet is definitely not human. He does a 450 onto the outside. Super impressive as well. And it was 8 minutes and 30 seconds, but it didn't feel like it was a long. What am I trying to say? It didn't feel like it was enough. Like I could have watched them for another 10 minutes. Another thing that I love is that it was non-stop action the entire 8 minutes and 30 seconds. You're just so highly entertained by all these teams, all of these different sizes and different styles, and it all comes together so beautifully. I know that a lot of people will say, oh, they put this in the card to put everybody in the card. Yes, they should. WrestleMania is 2 nights now. I have no problem with showcasing matches if they're going to be this good. This was a treat. It had no business being that good. It was a treat. However, they did advertise that the winners will go on to get a spot for a tag team title shot. So, like I said, the Street Profits were the winners. And that is a little bit of a recap of the match. So far, I love that. I still have a lot of matches to watch, but as of right now, this was a nice surprise, much better than the opening match. I said what I said. Let's talk about what they did throughout the time. And we'll start with the Street Profits. Since they won the match, they did win a chance at the tag team titles, and they got that on the Raw after Mania. They had a chance at the tag team titles against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who had just won it. We'll get into that when we get to that match, right? It was a losing effort for the Street Profits. They were also in the June time, the gauntlet for number 1 contenders. They lost that to Pretty Deadly. They had a program with LWO. They joined forces with Bobby Lashley. They also had some losing efforts too. Judgment Day around Survivor Series time. I think they did that on an episode of SmackDown. It was a tag team title match against Finn Balor and Damian Priest, in which they lost. And of course, right now they are very heavily involved in a program with Final Testament. That's Karrion Kross, Scarlett, returning Authors of Pain, and they're still pretty lined up with Bobby Lashley. And the Viking Raiders just kind of went on a never-ending feud with Alpha Academy. I feel like they've been feuding with Alpha Academy for as long as I can remember. As far as Alpha Academy goes, they bring on this never-ending feud with the Viking Raiders. However, Chad Gable did have a very special standout moment this year when he had a program of matches against Gunther in which we were all rooting for him. Everybody was rooting for him. But he didn't win, and the crowd is behind Chad Gable to the point that this last Monday there was a gauntlet match for number 1 contendership for the Intercontinental Champion. The winner will go on to face Gunther at WrestleMania this year, and Sami Zayn won, but everybody online was rooting for Chad Gable here. So Chad Gable, as a single star, is just something that I wish they would make happen soon. No gimmicks, no Shorty G. He's a good wrestler. Yes, we know it. Just let him fly and see what happens. No pun intended. The other participants that were not a tag team, and unfortunately are no longer a tag team, were Ricochet and Braun Strowman. I believe it was around June. Unfortunately, Braun Strowman had to go through neck fusion surgery, which is quite a serious surgery, and we have not seen him back in the ring since. Now, there was some rumors around Royal Rumble time. He did some interviews in which he says he's preparing for his in-ring return, but we didn't see him at the Rumble. We haven't seen him back. We wish Braun a fast recovery. We hope to see him back in the ring soon. I don't know that we'll see him back soon enough for this WrestleMania, but I hope that we see him back and healthy. That's the most important part. As far as Ricochet goes, we saw him get a little bit of a push towards Money in the Bank. Him and Logan Paul had a weird spot that Logan went on his podcast and said that they botched, which ignited a feud between them. There was already, people wanted to see this match because of their collapsing spot that they did at that year's Royal Rumble 2023. And so they did have what WWE tagline, the most viral match in WWE. That happened at SummerSlam. Ricochet lost to Logan Paul. After that, we didn't see him back on pay-per-view until the Royal Rumble, where he came out at number 28 and was pretty eliminated. It was no big deal after 5 minutes by Drew McIntyre. He got no eliminations. So do we see them in this year's WrestleMania card? That is the big question. Now, I'm going to say Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders do have a chance to be there because I think it was this week or last week. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sick. This week or last week, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis announced that there's going to be a 6-way ladder match for the tag team titles with Judgment Day. And there's going to be qualifying matches. So I see all three of these teams trying and maybe making it. I would like to see them. Those three with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, maybe Pretty Deadly and Judgment Day, or LWO Judgment Day. Like, there's so many teams that you can put in there. And I feel like they're going to put on a banger. Because if we saw them do this at a regular match, short on time, for nothing other than a showcase, imagine what these guys are going to bring to the table if they're in a ladder match for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Like, I am looking forward to that match more than you'll know. Ricochet, I don't know. Maybe he'll wait. Maybe for the United States Championship qualifying. I don't know what they're doing with that. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Ricochet this year. I'm not sure he's on the card. Gatorade. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, Braun Strowman, I don't see him coming back in time for WrestleMania. So yeah, that was the second match. That's episode 2 of WrestleMania Rewind. This was a fun surprise. I don't remember this. I remember this match being good, but it was so much better than what I remember it being. It's worth rewatching. Go rewatch it. Let me know in the chat if you love this match. Have you gone back and rewatched it? And who out of the people that were part of this match did you see having a big moment at this year's WrestleMania? I'll be reading your comments as I always do, and I'll see you for the next episode. I don't know what match is next. I'm kind of like pausing when I get done watching. I make these videos, and then when I'm ready to go again, I watch the next one. So I don't even know what match is up next. I think it might be Rollins and Logan, if I remember correctly. But that will be the next episode. That will be next week, okay? So anyways, I hope you enjoy. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to put it somewhere in here, somewhere. Episode 1, so go watch it. I talked about John Cena and Austin Theory. Then I gotta go, okay? Until next time, adios.